He is joined though.
Good morning, everyone. One second. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a new day of the Design Nuances Edu series by DQ Labs, where the idea is that you learn a new nuance to the topic of specific to design, fashion, or architecture. You interact with an expert and absorb the knowledge that they share, and also get introduced to a new school and understand why that school exists. Yeah. So today we have Professor Sanjay Jain, who is the Professor Emeritus and Director and Outreach of MIT Institute of Design Indore campus, which comes under the Avantika University. Now, Professor Sanjay is going to be doing an exclusive workshop on the impact of design. He's a very senior, well-respected design faculty and very significant person of the design fraternity. So it'll be great to have him here. There is a profile of his. He's a graduate of IIT Bombay. There is a profile, but I would invite Inderjeet Kaur from MIT Indore campus to tell you a little more about him. But before we do that, we would like to make an announcement in case students are interested in applying to MIT Indore for 2024 admissions. You could always go on to DQ Edge. You could see the listing there. And from there, you could click on the application link. And it's also going to be shared in the description of this webinar and the chat box, right? So looking forward to this discussion. Handing it over to Inderjeet for a little introduction of Professor Sanjay Jain. So over to you, Inderjeet.
Good morning. A very, very warm welcome to one and all here today at this amazing Sunday morning. And I am Inderjeet Kaur, part of admissions team at MIT ID Indore, Avantika University. I would first also would like to extend our warm thanks to DQ Labs for giving us this opportunity to represent ourselves here. And as they say, design is an amalgamation of science and art, and which obviously would talk more about or think more about a problem solving, which is for the very best, well thought for humanity. At Avantika, the esteemed faculty embody the essence of educational synergy, reflecting a diverse array of expertise and perspectives. And let me not take more time now to introduce our esteemed faculty, Professor Sanjay Jain, sir. Professor Sanjay Jain is an alumni of IDC. Professor Jain is a design provocator, has intertwining academic and industry experience of more than 35 years. He's pursued his engineering from IIT Bombay and master's in product design at Industrial Design Center, IIT Bombay. He has worked with many renowned global brands like MIT Institute of Design, Pune, Apron India Limited, and many, many more. The list goes on. Sir has contributed to build various academic collaborations with prominent design institutes from UK, US, Europe, Hong Kong, and Singapore. Many of his lighting products and systems designed under his team and himself are successful products in the marketplace and have a selected few won national recognition. He feels that learning and creating should be an intense joy for everyone involved in it. So over to Sanjay Jain, sir. Thank you for having this valued space today.
Thank you, Inderjeet. Are the students come already or?
Yeah, so we're going to be doing this it's being live streamed on YouTube. All right, so I will moderate the questions but you can start off and continue, and we'll moderate the question then. Yep.
So I cannot see the students.
No. Yeah.
So I don't have one source of energy.
Oh, well, we do have Noora, Nias, and Sanjana over here. So
I have to capture energy from you guys only, whom I can see,
well, Noora and Sanjana are our former students.
Okay.
They're still very actively involved with us. So they could be our audience for today.
Yeah. So Sanjana and Noora, can you show up yourself? Hi. Sanjana disappeared.
Oh, sir.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hi.
Yeah, one second. I'll just
Amit also is there. Good morning, Amit. Is he around?
Yeah. I'm very much there. I will be listening and I'll be joining you very soon.
Okay. Hi, Sanjana.
Yes, sir.
Can you see me? Can you hear me properly?
Yes, sir.
Because I think my voice will be important.
Yes, sir. I can see you.
And Noora, can you show up or
Yes, sir. I'm actually there. I'm just facing a bit problem with the video. Yeah.
I can visualize you?
Don't worry, sir. My video will be on within few minutes.
Okay. So shall we start? So it would be like a one-way talk for some time?
Yes, the objective of
Yeah.
this is for you to deliver the talk,
Okay.
and we'll moderate the questions in from YouTube.
Okay,
Yeah.
later on. I mean, first let me finish the talk, is it?
Yes.
Okay. So I can start now?
Yeah, you can go on. Yeah.
Yeah. We are so who all are there on the YouTube? There'll be parents also?
Yes, there are parents, there are students, there are students of the 2024 batch, 2025 batch. So
DQ Labs family.
Yeah,
It will be
yeah.
DQ Lab family?
yes.
Okay. Right on. So I hope I can share the screen.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, and then I can start talking. Ooh. Let me figure out where is. How come I'm not able to see my screen? Technical glitch. I should be able to see my screen, no? Indrajit?
Yeah, I'm guessing.
When I click share screen, files. Okay. This is the first glitch I faced.
Yeah, no worries. I'm sure once you get it set up, it'll be fine.
My it should Indrajit, it should give me my desktop, no? Why doesn't it give it?
Yeah, maybe if you have trouble, you could share the file with Indrajit, and Indrajit could. Yeah, now we can see.
Yeah, we are there, sir, on your screen.
Yes, you can see my screen now.
Yes, it's a
Not
blank.
yet. It's saying it started. Yeah, now we can see your screen. Yeah.
I'm putting it on, but why the is showing is okay.
Perfect.
So good morning, friends at DQ Labs. Is my video on or my video is stopped?
No, it's on.
On, sir.
Okay, for me it stopped. So today I'm going to talk about design. How does it impact our society? And I'm taking a much broader view of design and not the way we know it in terms of just designing products and systems. So
Yeah.
I will be talking in terms of specific areas. So I want each of you to concentrate hard on these areas and keep your questions, your queries ready, so we can have an interactive session later on.
Yeah.
So
Professor, if I can interrupt here.
yeah.
On your shared screen, we can see the Zoom video panel. Maybe if you could minimize that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's showing us frozen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can put your mouse on that. Yeah, click on that. Yeah, and maybe minimize it. They use the next one. Yeah.
This one?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Now we can see the screen clearly. Yeah.
Okay. So, when I talk to you about design, I will be sharing with you some of the typical specific areas or the products or activities of design in a much larger sense. So I think we can start with the first thing to start always with: how do we define design? So for me, design is, in a very simple language, is creating meaningful order with conscious and intuitive efforts. And in this process, design addresses aesthetic, functional, contextual, cultural, and societal needs. So when you talk about these specific areas of design, I think it would be a good idea that I analyze it or cut it into different parts, so you can look at it differently, and then later on you can see it all together. Yeah. So let's start with basic understanding which we have of design. So as a designer in the future, when you become a professional designer, it doesn't matter which discipline you are from. You will be designing consumer appliances, toys, sports equipment, furnitures, healthcare and medical products, personal products, professional products, spaces. You'll be designing machines, the mobility products and systems which are used for human mobility. You will be also designing human product, human interfaces. So this is something which I've added just lately. So it's not just interaction or interface between human and product, but also product and human. So in the future, even the products will be talking to you. Then you'll design information, you'll design services, you'll design experiences, you'll be designing environments, and most importantly, you will design change. Yeah, and this is something which we have to understand in a much wider perspective. So for the sake of simplicity, and hopefully that you can understand these various aspects or various activities of design, I will put them into 4 separate categories, or so 4 separate fields. And when I say product, it doesn't mean a tangible product. It could be even an intangible product. So when you design experiences, that also is a product or the outcome of design process or design thinking. So to start with, commercial products, responsible products, experimental products, and discursive products. And I'll explain to you each of these categories with a certain kind of a metrics. So when you talk about commercial products are driven by market, by the market needs. And the market needs or the business needs will be measured in terms of revenue or return on investment or ROI. So how much does a product sell? How much does it, what kind of profit it gains, what kind of revenues it gives to the organization or the business, and what is your return on investment, how long you will be able to return, you get a return on your investment. So it's a purely commercial design. And the intent for commercial designs or commercial products is whether it is useful for the society in at large, it is usable. That means the people are able to use it effectively. Desirable, the product should be desirable by the people, it should be affordable, and also should be profitable for the organization or for the business. So I'll give you an example of this product. An iPhone. Now, this is a product which is seductive. It enchants you. It is sophisticated. Of course, it is useful in the present context, is usable, and is profitable for Apple because its stock has gone up by 135% with iPhone. So this is a commercial product, and this is what some of you will be working on in this area. You'll be working for the market to satisfy customers' need, but the need could be seductive or it could be functional, but it would be a large area where you will be serving as a professional. Next to that will be a product which is not very functional, but could be desirable, is iconic, it is expressive, useful, I'm not sure, because I've seen this product. Usable, yes. It could be, or it is a conversation starter, but this product, despite not being very useful, has been highly profitable for a company called LSE in Italy. It's called Juicy Salive by an iconic designer called Philip Stark. And you will read about him when you join the profession, when you start learning about design. So this is basically a juicer used for citrus fruits, and it is made in sterling silver, and it is very iconic. How useful, I'm not sure, that you have to go and use it and figure out it. But this is also a commercial product, and there is a need for you to design such products in the marketplace, depending on which organization you're working for. Yeah. Next to that category, we'll come to the next field called responsible design. Now, this activity of design is not necessarily driven by market need, but the driver is service for humanity. That means you're reaching out to those people who are underserved and to improve their lives. And the intent of these products is, of course, it has to be useful, should be usable, and it should serve those who are normally ignored and they do not come in the economic profitability of the business. But this is an area where a lot of you will be working in the future. Responsible design. To give an example to you for this product, for example, it could be an affordable laptop for every child. And in this case, the product was designed by a famous designer called Nicholas Negroponte from MIT Media Lab in Massachusetts Institute of Design, USA. Now, this is an affordable laptop for children from developing countries. You can see the profile of children from Southeast Asia. Yeah, and the purpose is the children who are normally deprived or ignored by the businesses, they have an access to knowledge, to experiment, and to explore their lives, and is to give them information at the click of a button. Now, this is a product which is developed by a non-profit organization called OLPC. Yeah. So this is a product which may not be very profitable for the organization, because anyway it's a non-profit organization, but it would be usable and useful to make a change in the lives of people who are normally ignored or underserved. It could be also a product like the one which you see in the screen. Is called Ableware. Is basically a one-handed cutlery for people who are amputees and they have limited hand dexterity, and is to help them lead an independent life. And of course, it may not be very profitable because it has a limited market, but this is basically a compassion design. Yeah, it is for people who are normally would not be designing for. Yeah, so these are two examples of responsible design, and I'm sure some of you who are really passionate to serve the society and to make an impact and to serve the people who are normally ignored will be working on. Yeah. Next to that will be experimental design. This is where I think science and art and technology and other areas work together. So it's cross material research. So this is at the crossroad where, the driver is not profitability. Driver is not to serve the underserved, but is about curiosity, is about inquiry into unknown. That is where some of you as designers could be working, and the measure of success is how intense is your technological or aesthetic expression or exploration. And the basic intent of this experimental design is exploration of possibilities, experimenting with new technologies, and give it a physical shape or give it a tangible visibility to the people. It could be also exploring certain new materials, certain new aspects of human senses, and how do human senses could be utilized to make a product which could be useful in the future. But this is like a product in progress. Yeah. So the example of this would be, for example, there's a product called is basically a shoe, which is it's something which breathes. Yeah, the shoe breathes. It self adapts based on your foot topography and also your age and gender. And this is something which was developed by BioRealize, is a studio in MIT Media Lab. MIT Media Lab is an organization which works upstream in terms of exploring design and technology and science. So this is a breathable shoes which you can wear and adapt yourself to various terrains or various contexts. So this is basically an exploration in materials, in terms of sensors, in terms of human capabilities, and is basically exploratory design. Yeah. This is another very interesting product, which is raising awareness and creating a debate in terms of what is the cost and the role of technology in our lives. This, what you see is a product called Placebo, which is in this case, what you can see is a compass table. So it basically to make you aware that when you are using a cell phone, you cannot see the waves or the energy or the system which runs it. But with this product, when your cell phone rings, the compass needle starts dancing around, and it makes it visible that there is an electromagnetic wave which is at work and is entered in your home. So this is an exploration of making a technology visible to people, who are not aware of how we are inundated with a lot of magnetic waves and energy systems in our lives, So this is basically to generate an awareness and starting a debate on because it is said that if the over excessive use of cell phone is not healthy for all of us, for the humanity, and this is a one way to demonstrate that how does it affect you when these waves enter your home through your cell phone. Yeah, so these are the examples of exploratory or experimental design, which I'm sharing with you. Now, the next level will be something which is very, very new and critical, and something which is where the design transcends the boundaries of just tangible or intangible products, but it talks about discursive design. Now, discursive design is expression of ideas and ideologies, and the measure of success is how does it change and impacts the way we live? How does it enrich our lives? So the intent is basically to make you reflect, to make you think in new ways. It also sometimes provocative, and sometimes it also enlightens you. So discursive design, it sparks new ways of thinking and figuring out how the people can respond to what is happening around them, and how they can be provoked or instigated to do something about what is not right. Yeah. So the example of this would be an interesting product, which is called indigestive plates. So this product is basically the very simple ceramic dinner plates, but they have a message. They have a message about poverty and hunger printed in a thermochromatic ink on the plate. So at room temperature, the plate is conventional, like a normal ceramic plate. But when the dinner, when the food starts and then you start to finish your hot meal, a certain message appears. And the message is, you confront a message which says, every day 16,000 children die of hunger-related causes. So here is a product which offers a typical utility, but is designed to instigate, is designed to give you a provocative message that as you are consuming this hot meal, there are thousands of children who are going hungry, and they don't have adequate food to eat that day. So it's basically provocative design. Yeah. Now, building onto this, I will have another product which is interesting, very interesting. I will call it an abstract product. It's called the hug. So the salt and pepper shakers hug each other, and it is basically anthropomorphized. So in terms of a human being, a human figure has been converted into a tangible product, and it's like is an expression. So it's more of a is commercial as well as it is discursive design. So it provokes you, it instigates you in a very nice comic way, but also is a commercial product. So this is, we're talking about the boundary of commercial and discursive design. Okay. Now, when we talk about discursive design, I will just put this slide on, but once we understand these various intentions and various provocations by and the roles that a designer can play and take on, you can, once you learn this, then you can engage in your decisions to go for an informed decision to join design as a career and as a lifestyle. So whether it could be experimental design or discursive design, which can reassemble art and non-serious design, adds great value to the society in terms of a change. Now, when I was just reading a couple of days back about discursive design, it is like, just imagine a scenario of a pre-election scenario where the voters, you can design a system by which the voters can have a discussion about and free and open discussion with the city council in terms of which party is doing well and which party can be voted to power. Now this kind of a system can be designed by which the city council can engage discussions with the citizens of the city. And I mean, this is also a part of design in which you are making a change in terms of the way the people think by giving them information which is given to them democratically. Now here there could be, I mean, this is called a discursive design, and then it's possible that in the future we might have a ministry of design in Indian government system, and that design council or that design ministry could be responsible to create systems by which people can discuss issues which normally confuse them or perplex them, and they should be able to take an informed decision about whom to vote or what to do about the pollution in the city, or what to do about the crime rate in the society. So this is about discursive design, where designers can also play an important role in creating these kind of systems and these kind of dialogues. Yeah, so this is I'm just coming to the end of my presentation, and I'll give a little food for thought for the students, for the young students to work as homework. So just think, it's a very simple exercise, but I think it requires a lot of thinking. So in front of you, there are basically cubes. Yeah. So the exercise is how do you convert this simple cube into 4? One sec. How do you convert these 4 cubes into 4 products, and each of them serves a different intent? The cube 1 can serve the intent for a commercial design. Second cube could serve as for design for humanity or responsible design. And third cube can serve as a design for exploration, experimentation. And the fourth cube can serve as for discursive design. But this is like a constraint which you have, and then how you can build 4 different products driven by 4 different intent to design. Yeah, this is like food for thought. You guys can work on it, and you can actually have a dialogue with me through mail. You can also talk to me. You can note down my email ID, which I think we'll do it at the end of the session, and also my phone number. So you can talk to me about how you will grapple with these kind of products, taking cube as a constraint. Yeah. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thanks, Professor Sanjay. Fantastic presentation. I think very well structured and thought of, and very well described the different aspects of design, which brings me to a question from Hariram Satish, who's asking, which of these 4 categories of design is going to be the top future priority? He's got a second part of the question. I'll ask that later.
Who is the person who's asking?
Hariram Satish.
Hariram, what is the trigger for this question? I mean, are you worried about that this is maybe too much to handle for me? But I think it is going to be all together, depending on how we evolve as society. So, and I think more and more is going to be the discursive design, where the design actually going to expand its boundaries and touch other aspects of life which it hasn't touched. So at present, we are talking about design only for commercial purposes, but design has a much larger role to play, because a lot of my students, because I must be having something like 1,000 students in the marketplace, they are leaving the boundaries of the so-called conventional design and getting into areas which have been unexplored by the designers. Where do you think designers cannot contribute? and they have been designing for, a lot of my students work for UN, they work for UNICEF, they work for a lot of non-profit organizations, and something which they have chosen for themselves. Because there'll be a stage when they'll be working as a commercial designer, but after a while, if they are passionate enough, they get into areas which transcend the boundaries of design, and they get into, social innovation. How do we create a positive change in the society and to make a difference to a society? So that is what is my answer, but I'm sure he can take it with a pinch of salt and he can decide for himself, because the important thing is you have to take an informed decision, and it is changing all the time. The information is changing all the time, So be aware of what is happening around you and then plug in. Yeah. And also drive through your passion. Be driven by your passion. What you feel is right. It's not that the commercial product activity will go down. That will be always there, because there's so many technologies coming which need to be made visible. So there will be a lot of commercial product, there will be a lot of organizations, but then the organization themselves would also get into areas which is, at present we call it corporate social responsibility. But there are organizations who like to use that money or the power to do something for the society. I hope there is a positive change in terms of their thinking as well. Yeah,
I think that's a tremendous answer, because the perspective that a lot of students get into design is that, okay, they will get a job at the end of it, which is typically commercial products, right? Designing commercial products. But what came out here is that there are other aspects of design, and there are companies working on those aspects, and
yes,
or governments working on these aspects, or global organizations, and those are areas of opportunities as well, which could be neglected, or which could not strike us. Right?
Yeah, I'm sure some of these young students must have seen an advertisement of Apple, where there is an extended video where there's a Mother Earth who's sitting at the top of the game. And then she is talking to Tim Cooks, and she's talking to some of the employees, and she's talking, when are you going to do this carbon footprint? When are you going to reduce the carbon footprint? What are you doing about the electricity? How are you going to, use solar energy? I'm sure some students must have seen that video, or they can actually see it. It is basically a educational advertisement. Is also I would not call it a propaganda, but it also is about how organizations like Apple, who are minting money, are also thinking about making a positive change in the society, in terms of reducing his climate change effect, adverse effects, and in terms of reducing carbon footprint through whatever they produce, and even the way people travel and the way the people move about.
Right. Excellent. So there's a follow-up question on that. How does a design student make a decision on his or her career path aligning to these 4 areas?
I think it's important that they enter into one area which is very close to their heart. Yeah. First, whatever they think they will be able to enjoy, something which they like to do in the time when they are not doing other things, So they should get into that areas, I hope you understand what I'm saying. So a lot of students love to do things by procrastination. So whatever they're supposed to do, they don't do that, and they do something else. That something else should drive their passion. They should do that. Yeah. And then get into an area and be open to change. Because it's not important which discipline you take in design. You will be touched when you study in a university like Avantika. You will be touched by other aspects of design, because you are living in a vibrant sort of a community. We are living in areas which are surrounded by rural escape. So they will be exposed to some of the problems themselves, and if they have their antennae sharpened, then they will absorb these things happening around them, and they will do something which will be close to their heart. So this should be, it doesn't matter which discipline they enter. It really doesn't matter, because I've seen that happening time again. They start with something and then they get more and more aware by the kind of exposure they get in terms of intellectual rigor, the kind of projects they do, and the way they communicate with faculty members. There is a change all the time.
Would you say that, being exposed to like the rural area around you mentioned earlier, would that be a little more related to, say, experimental design? Those aspects probably try to take a forefront.
It will be both experimental design and also responsible design.
Okay.
Design. Because I remember last year, one of my batches went for a field visit to nearby villages, and some students who were not aware, they did not have any knowledge about how the rural schools run. So when they went there, they figured out that ye to bahut hi kharab halat hai yaar. It's really horrible. They don't know how to, they don't have a place to sit properly. The place is unhygienic, is unclean. So they decided that they will volunteer to go there once a week, and they will do something about those rural schools. They will be able to even engage themselves in teaching students, also cleaning up the places, creating certain devices which can help them learn better. Yeah. So I think it is important that it should be left to the students. There are no tailor-made answers for this. Because it's about life, how the life unfolds, how it does it unravel itself. We are not aware. You cannot predict. And the more and more you want to predict it, the more and more you will stop enjoying it. Okay. Yeah, you should never predict too much in the future. I think we never had this kind of a very clear, clinical ideas about where we're going to land up after design. We just plunge into design. We thought it is something which is good for us, and that's it. And then be prepared to confront the future. Be prepared to confront the unpredictable, as it sort of unravels.
All right. Which brings me to another thought I had, and I can relate this to one of, the students I interacted with in the past. Now, what you're saying is that students will go through an experimental process to identify various, where their interests are, and they'll create certain experiments. And it reminds me of a situation of a student I'd interacted with who spent a whole semester designing shoes for farmers, right?
What?
And designing shoes for farmers.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because he said he went and observed farmers tilling their soil and not, barefoot. So he designed entire shoes, and he went back to the farmer, and the farmer said, I don't need this. I don't need shoes at all, right? So students could also go through these experimental processes, and how do they keep themselves motivated through these experimental? It may work, it may fail, right?
And building on to whatever you're saying, Dion, is about human adaptability. When you adapt to the lack of something, for a long time, if there is a lack of something which you adapt yourself to it. It's like a lot of Kenyan marathon runners, when they were given shoes, they lost. So when they were running barefooted, they are in harmony with nature. So for a long time, if they are sort of deprived of a right solution, the human body will adapt to it. So I think he has to persevere. I mean, he could have persevered. It's just like could have gone on and figure out whether the person really will be benefited from this. So this will be always a struggle. Yeah.
All right. Noora has a question that you'd like to ask.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. So as even I'm a design student, like I'm an architecture student. So we as design students, we always have this issue of like where to stop a good design. Like when we start designing, we always come up with ideas. And when we do our first model, we go like, no, I think I can do it a bit better. There's always a room for improvement, and we always tend to, make it better. But we don't know when to put a stop to it. like, when that design is enough. So like, what is your view on this, sir? Like, how do we actually manage this?
It would be very simple. You will be driven by certain extraneous factors also, Noora. So there will be something driven by the organization you work for, the customer, the user you're working for. I think there will be also a time constraint. So it would be a good idea that if you are 85% okay, you put it in the market, because then the product will evolve. So there is something which is, when I was working with Wipro, my president, I still remember him. We were designing a product, and he met me one of one of the morning sessions, and he asked me, where are we on that product? I told him it's around 85% we are ready. He was saying, launch it in the marketplace, because then you are not making a life-saving drug, no? He asked me that. You're not making a life-saving drug. So as long as you're not making a life-saving drugs and a building which will fall on the next day, you better go with it. And then see how the market responds to it, and then keep on fine-tuning it, keep on working on it, Yeah. So it would be, you'll be always driven by those constraints, the extraneous constraints, because you are not a lone genius, no, working in the marketplace. You're working in the team, you're working for a business, you're working for a user, yeah, who have got certain stakes associated with whatever you design. Yeah. So I think once you are 85% ready, launch it, put it in the marketplace, or build it.
Thank you, sir.
Is it okay? Clear?
Yes, it's very clear.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that. I think that's a very good question, Noora, because these are situations where a lot of students or design students go through, right? And questioning, and even our students, for that matter, of TQ Labs, right? So they keep doing things, and they can always say we are going to improve. But there's also a fear, right? That Professor Sanjay, you're saying that students, and that if you're 85% there, can let's just go ahead with it. But how do you overcome a fear that it's not good enough, right?
But design by its very nature is an endless process. It is not like you have a formula and you put the values in it and the answer comes. It is not. Design is not like that, and I wish the design is always like that, that is completely ongoing process. That's why there is improvement and evolution all the time. I was just reading an article yesterday. Before the alarm clock was made, there were people who were serving as alarm clock. They were called knocker uppers. They used to have a long stick, and they used to knock people's window to wake them up, because there was no alarm clock or very reliable alarm clocks, So, and the people believed on people using as a knocker upper. They used to have a long stick, and it keeps on getting longer and longer depending on how people were living in higher stories, and they used to knock their windows, to wake them up. Now, this is something which cannot go on, That's why there is you made a product which is like an alarm clock, and alarm clock also was not adequate. Then you make something more different, something which certainly wakes you up, because you start dancing around everywhere, and then you have to. So what I'm saying is that by its own nature, design is a evolving process. It keeps on going ahead. So that's why there's always an improvement on a product, And
Yes.
Designer is always optimistic. There will be always a change for better. So since there is no end to it, I think it's important that you are driven by your constraints, and then you should go ahead with it, because I have seen that happening with my students. They will, if there's a 4-week or a 6-week project, they will spend 5.5 weeks in research, and then in the last couple of days, they'll make some product, which will not even see the light of the day. Because doing research is like escapism. You're trying to escape from the fact that you have to actually now make the product. You keep on escaping it all the time, because it's very one-way process, no? Research is a very one-way process. You keep on absorbing things and keep on building on it, thinking that you'll make a great product one day, and the day never comes. And the requisite amount of time which you should give it to the actual product creation doesn't happen. Yeah. So you have to give sufficient time to build the product, and then get it tested in the marketplace. And there will be always a change. And then even if you put in the market, there'll be always a change. You know that. I'm sure all of you are aware there are large conglomerates like Toyota and Suzuki and Mercedes who are calling back their cars from the marketplace because something has not worked with one particular batch. So if you have that batch number of car with you, they will get them back, and of course they'll do everything free for you. Just imagine such large organizations, Mercedes or Daimler or Suzuki. So who is a designer? Just alone one designer,
And this is why you mentioned earlier, design is a career, but also a lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
So it's a whole thought process, and you need to think that and go through that experience and live, knowing that there's always going to be improvements. Fantastic interaction there, Professor Sanjay. A couple of questions for Inderjeet. All right.
Please.
Yeah, Inderjeet there's a question from Uma Maheshwari who's saying, can a student change their selected design stream or specialization in the second year? For example, in the first year, if they select industrial design, second year onwards, can they select communication design?
I think sir is waving for that. And like he said, the first year is a foundation program. Basically, that's how it builds up, the first, second sem, till they actually realize their specializations. And there is enough space always to change, because designing is an ongoing process. So even if they come into industrial design or any of the track, which they later would think that, they would want to explore something else, or something else is more interesting to them, there is always a scope. I also have Amit sir.
Yeah, see, apart from that, we also have the liberty to the students wherein they can choose electives from some other stream, right? So while national education policy is implemented in 2020, but since 2017 only, we have this liberal education system in place wherein a student of communication design can opt for any electives of UI UX and vice versa. So whatever disciplines we have electives also, and then they can choose among all the electives irrespective of what field they are into. Sanjay sir, you want to add?
Yeah. Building on to what Amit and Inderjeet is saying, see, when the student join foundation, I think once they're aware, they will like to choose a certain discipline, then they start working on it, in a sense, they will start getting counseling from the faculty. They will also talk to their peers. They'll talk to the students who have worked in industry, and we facilitate this kind of interaction and communication. So they will be able to take an informed decision about a discipline. But then learning doesn't happen only through the specific courses which they register for. Learning also happens through observation. So when they observe other students, like when I was studying in IDC, there's a whole lot of time I have to spend with graphic design students. Being an industrial designer, I used to learn a lot from graphic design, not through teachers or classes, but through just working with them or just observing them. So the whole lot of learning happens that, and that also stays with you. It doesn't go away. The learning is not only through classes. I think the students should understand that. They learn only 20% in the classes, 80% they learn outside, in terms of how they observe, how they look at other students. And what Amit is saying, they can always take electives, which is about, because a lot of my classmates in IDC have taken one course, which was not industrial design, and then that became their life later on, They jettisoned the industrial design and they went to UI UX because he just done one course, small course, So these electives can also be game changers, Yeah. So just they should understand that.
Yeah, I'll tell you something about the foundation year, basically in a very simple manner. See, foundation year is designed in such a manner that the student is exposed and explored to all the disciplines of design. It is basically to come out, they should come out with their swabhav. Swa means self, bhav means expression, right? So their swabhav, what their swabhav is, what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, and based on their strengths, they can decide the stream. So I think it is actually a blessing to be in a confused state till you go through the foundation and then decide your stream.
Yeah. And they can always make is always good idea to make a wrong decision first.
Yeah.
So you can make it right later on,
You learn by experiences.
Yeah, and you can take a wrong decision. It happens in so many times in our lives also, You choose a wrong career and then you sort of, you don't like it, you come out of it, So it's like, there's nothing much to be really worried about, because in the future, as a professional, they will be working as a design resource and not as UI, UX or a graphic designer or industrial designer. I know that from my experience in the industry for a very long time, They will look at you as a resource. You can do they think that you are very resourceful, you can do a lot of things. Yeah. It doesn't matter which discipline you are from. They would never ask you. They don't really care. They don't care. If you are not good at UI, UX, you are saying, learn it. You learn and do it. You can learn well, anything on design, you can learn. So this is what the industry assumes. I think we should understand that, which is the hard reality. I worked for the first 6 months, I was working as a graphic designer in my first job. I did not have a seat to sit. So there is never a luxury of giving everything on the platter for them, So
Fantastic. Very insightful conversation. Inderjeet, you have a presentation or a small talk that you'd like to give about the admission process?
Right.
Yeah.
I will just share my screen here.
Sure.
Yeah, so Inderjeet has recently joined us, so maybe I will pitch in between where I feel it necessary.
Right. Thank you, sir. And this is the presentation is viewable to all.
Yes, you can also
it
put
full
it on
screen.
full screen.
Right. Just do
The cup icon below.
right.
Yeah, full screen.
Better?
Yeah.
Yep, perfect.
Right. So welcome to MIT ID Indore, which is, of course, here right at Indore campus. MIT, this is the front view of the campus. MIT ID Indore is spread across the 60-acre campus with a philosophy of design-centeredness. When we say design-centeredness, it is the first Indian design-centered university completely centralized on design and all the specializations offered.
Apart from this, let me tell you, I think we are privileged to host Dion last year. He himself has seen the campus. It is a lush green campus with only 35% of construction. I would also like to add that we have around 50 species of birds here. Yes, Inder.
Yes, so like Sir said rightly, that being a design-centered university, we are also a proudly part of the esteemed MIT group of institutions, Pune, which has a proven legacy of 40 years plus in the field of higher education. The University of Avantika, or the Avantika University, MIT ID Indore, was established by the government of Madhya Pradesh through an act of legislature in 2017 and approved by UGC. Under the MIT group of institutions, there have been 4 universities, 80 institutes, 4,000 plus faculty, and over 50,000 plus students and 5 lakh plus alumni. So these are the
Yeah,
three
okay,
locations.
Inder, yeah, let me pitch in because we have to wrap it a little fast. So we have MIT ID stands for Institute of Design. We started in 2006 with Pune campus. And in 2017, the group actually came out of Maharashtra and started, the university, which is known as Avantika University, outside MP in Indore. It is basically between Ujjain and Indore. It is hardly a drive of 40 minutes from Indore airport. And we have a synergy when it comes to placements and academic synergy with Pune campus. Yes, Inderjit, you can scroll it down.
Yes. So
Yeah, you can keep
okay.
doing. I'll brief them.
There is a lag here. Screen is stuck somewhere. The screen is stuck somewhere.
No issues. I'll take it like this only. So having said this, let me tell you more about the faculties. You yourself have listened to the insightful session of Sanjay sir. So Sanjay sir, Pramod sir, Sukanta Kundu, Raghav Pandya, these are very big names when it comes to design education. Most of the faculties are from IDC, IIT and NID with lots and lots of industrial experiences. So we recently got Aeon Sarkar. Let's talk about pedagogy here. So students and parents, you all know when we talk about mathematics, if I ask you 2 + 2 is 4 here in US also, and even at Chandrayaan, right? So the fundamentals remain same. So what is the difference there? The difference is pedagogy. Pedagogy is the way of teaching, the method which is adopted in ensuring that student learns maximum. And when we talk about our pedagogy, of course, all design institute have this pedagogy of project-based learning, but there are experiential learning also with us. We have what you call it, flipped classroom, game through games, through play, through roles, right? Inder, can you please go upward, little upward? Yeah. So it is project-based learning, blended learning. Design is all about incorporating all the disciplines, whether it is science, arts, psychology, sociology, whatever. Fine. Yes, move below, please. These are some of the student projects. We have thousands of them, but just for the sake of presentation, we have put them. And Dion has just warned us that you have little time, I will not be elaborating on this. Yeah, Inder.
So
go below. Yeah, come to the achievement. Yes, achievement is student achievement is something which we always take pride in mentioning. Fine. So we are the only private design education institute wherein a student has been selected in WDO. WDO is World Design Organization, right? So his name is Sanjay Jain. And Inder, why are you? Please don't scroll so fast, Inder.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Please be stable.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, move it. Yes. So whether it's NASCOM, whether it is club awards, developer club awards, Hands-on challenge, whatever, the participation is there. The idea here to mention is it is not of winning. The idea is the culture, the pedagogy itself, the faculties, they encourage students to participate in various design hunts, design exhibitions, design competitions, so that they can showcase their strengths, they can showcase their values, whatever they have earned during their studies. And the overall purpose is that we participate in all the events, all the design events. Recently, I got a privilege of being in UX India, which was in Leela, Bangalore, and I missed Dion there. Anyway, scroll it down. Yeah, green champion we have got. Scroll it down. Yeah, this is very important program. Yeah, so we have, of course, the core disciplines of industrial communication, user experiences. So in industrial design, we have product design, transportation design, furniture design. In communication, graphic design, animation, film design, game design. Spatial will include inferior space design, retail environment design, exhibition design. And in UX, we have UI design, immersive media design, information design. So there's a column which is written BFA Digital Arts. It's actually, we have converted from BFA to B dash now. So in digital arts also, you will have a Bachelor of Design. And this is a very, very innovative and a very, very new inclusion in our portfolio, which will include projection arts, motion arts, media arts, and gaming arts. Yes, Inder. So academic framework we have already discussed. Inder, next. Yeah, iConnect. Now, iConnect is a very, very important activity which we do. It is rather into the framework of our curriculum now. So iConnect means industry connect, and every week somebody from industry, who's of the industry, will come. They will spend some time with the students. They interact with the students. They will update what is industry is going through, what are the trends of industry, and how they can relate their studies with the industry, because ultimately they have to go in the industry. And we also say that we are developing industry ready resources. So I will just take you through a very small video. Inder, please go upwards on the iConnect session. iConnect, yes.
Yes, coming to that, sir.
Yes, play it. Anyway, the idea in the you can skip it because the it's not a seamless flow. Yeah, so the idea is people from OLX, LinkedIn, BCG, Coca-Cola. So these are some of the companies which visited us, and then they interacted with the students. Yes, beyond academics. Yes, Inder, please scroll down.
Yes.
So beyond academics is something which we celebrate when we say we celebrate all the festivals, be it Durga Puja, be it Onam, be it Dashera, Ganesh Chaturthi. I mean, we have students from 22 states, and that's make it a cosmopolitan culture, even when it comes to celebrating their festivals. Then placements, yes, placement is a very, very important attribute which you all should know. So we have 450 plus companies associated with us. 450 companies associated with us, which means that these are the companies we are in regular touch with, and they offer us internship also, they offer us capstone project also, they offer us final placements also. We do have international collaboration also. Inder, can you take us to the video, final video?
Yes, sir.
We are running short of the time. We just have 3 minutes left. And this is a very normal thing because, yeah. Please play it. Is it not playing?
It is. It started.
Inder, I think there is a network issue.
Yeah, I think
Inder, you can skip this. We will send this to Dion, and Dion can in turn share with among the students.
yeah.
So
I think this is
just an important thing which I think is most important, and that is the admission process. So we have a DST. DST stands for Design Scholarship Test. The examination is on 17th of December this year. It would be completely online, and once you clear the online examination, you will be appearing for TCPI. Now, TCPI is again a term which has been evolved by Professor Sanjay Jain. Thank you, sir, for that. TC is the thinking challenge. Thinking challenge in personal interaction, and that too will be the online in the online board. 17th of December, and DQ Labs will be sharing the link with you. It is absolutely free of cost. There is no fees involved. And then we will have that, but intimation of that will be communicated later on because that is in April. So, so I would urge Dion also, so that every students should be, they should be accessible to the link so that they can appear for the examination. So that's all from our side. Yes, dear.
Sure, thank you. Thank you so much. Right. So quickly, there's a question from Samita Das, who's asking, can the presentation be shared with the participants? That's Professor Sanjay Jain's presentation. If it's possible, please let Indrajit know and we'll share it on the DQ Labs WhatsApp groups. So that'll be accessible if possible. Professor Sanjay Jain's email address has been shared in the chat and the description of this webinar. Additionally, there's been an e-meet already done with MIT ID Indore campus, and that link has been shared in the WhatsApp chat and the description of the webinar as well. The admission process, Umeshwari, has been answered. This admission process is typically only for MIT Indore. The MIT DAT process is also for both MIT Indore and MIT Pune, but all the other admission processes are specifically for MIT Indore only. And very important to keep that in mind. You know, follow us on our WhatsApp groups, so all the conversations are there, and you know, that'll help you out. Last question from Vidya Reddy regarding the fee structure. Professor Amit, if you could briefly touch upon this, and then we close.
Yes. The fees is 4,25,000. That's the academic fees, and hostel fees is around 2. So that comes out to be 6.25 lakhs per annum. For 4 years, you can multiply it by 4.
Fantastic. And that brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you so much, Professor Sanjay Jain, Mr. Amit Sharma, and Indrajit. It's been a fantastic session, very insightful, very thought-provoking, and puts a lot of
That is my job. How do I turn the tables to other guys?
Yeah, oh, it was fantastic. Yeah.
And Dion, I have not given my number. The reason is these guys will call me about 2 o'clock in the night. This generation is a nocturnal generation, you know. So that's why.
Right. So we've shared Paridhi's number.
Email address.
So Paridhi's number has been shared already for any context.
And they should not hesitate to send me a mail. There's no problem at all.
Sure. Thank you so much.
I can always put it in the spam. So
right. So thanks a lot, Professor. And your last week's session at Indiranagar, at Bangalore, is fantastic. Very, very well appreciated.
Thank you.
All right. We'll end.
Thank you, Dion.
Thank